Hey BL lovers, welcome back to the channel. But today, this isn't just another ranking video. This is personal. I've laughed, I've cried, I've screamed into my pillow at 3 AM, and now, I'm finally ready to break it all down. From the couples who made my heart race, to the ones who tore it into pieces. I'm ranking the BL series that left a mark. We're diving into love stories that felt too real, performances that gave me chills, and pairings whose chemistry was so intense, it burned right through the screen. Fair warning, there will be unpopular opinions, passionate rants, and emotional outbursts. Because when it comes to BL, I feel everything. So grab your popcorn, light a candle, and get comfortable. Because this journey is about to get raw, real, and romantic AF. Let's rank these BLs like our sanity depends on it. 1. Never Let Me Go. 8.5 out of 10. Never Let Me Go is not just a BL series. GMMTV outdid themselves on this one. It was a cinematic experience. It plunges you into a world where love battles fate, and tenderness blooms in the shadows of violence and duty. From the very first episode, I was hooked, breathless, and emotionally raw. The plot unfolds like a slow-burning fire, deliberate, mysterious, and quietly explosive. The cinematography is absolutely breathtaking. Every shot feels like a painting. The use of light, shadow, and framing makes you feel the weight of silence, the ache in a lingering glance, the danger always lurking. There's a certain stillness that pulls you in, as if the world pauses when Palm and Nguyen look at each other. It's intimate, it's poetic, it's painful. Then we have the acting. And my god, Pond Neravat and Phuwin Tang Sokyun delivered performances that shook me to the core. Pond brought a storm of quiet intensity, making every protective gesture feel like a desperate plea for connection. Phuwin, on the other hand, was heartbreakingly fragile and fiery all at once. His emotional range in this series? Undeniable. When their worlds collided, it wasn't just love, it was survival. And that's what made their chemistry so gut-wrenching and powerful. You felt them in every word unspoken, every stolen touch, every tear they held back. The story wove themes of class divide, identity, chosen family, and defiance into something that felt both deeply personal and tragically universal. It was violent, yes, but tender. Cold, yet burning. Their love was not easy. It was messy, complicated, and surrounded by blood and duty, and still, they chose each other. Over and over again. If I had to criticize anything, it would be the slightly confusing resolution at the end. There were a few elements that felt rushed or unclear, like they ran out of time or were too afraid to commit fully to the emotional consequences. I found myself wondering, did they truly escape their fates? Did they really get peace? It left me yearning for just a little more clarity, just a little more closure. But even with that, I can't deny this Never Let Me Go left a mark on me. A lasting one. It's not just a show you watch. It's one you feel in your chest, in your bones, in that place where pain and beauty meet. My final verdict. 8.5 out of 10. A hauntingly beautiful tale of forbidden love, sacrifice, and the quiet strength of two souls who dared to dream of freedom together. 2. Star in My Mind. I'll rank this a 6 over 10. If I'm being honest, this series left me conflicted. On the surface, Star in My Mind had all the ingredients of a promising BL drama, beautiful cinematography, a swoon-worthy pairing, and a premise that flirted with potential. But as I watched, something felt like it was constantly missing. The plot? It was just okay. Predictable, light, and at times frustratingly passive. I wanted it to dig deeper, to make me feel something, but it mostly skimmed the surface. I kept waiting for that emotional punch. The kind that tightens your chest and leaves you breathless, but it never really came. But then Jungdunk. Let's be clear. My 6.5 rating? An entire extra point is because of them. Their chemistry wasn't explosive, but it was warm, familiar. Like two souls who had known each other far longer than the script allowed. Dunk's soft-eyed vulnerability paired with Jung's quiet intensity gave the story a kind of tender gravity it didn't quite earn on its own. Whenever they shared a scene, I found myself leaning in, hoping, wishing, that the writing would rise to meet their potential. Their glances spoke more than the dialogue. Their silences carried more tension than some entire plot arcs. You could see Dunk pour himself into his character with shy yearning, while Jung, in all his calm restraint, made his emotions simmer under the surface like a storm barely held at bay. I honestly kept watching because of them. For them. And that's what made it frustrating. The story didn't give them enough. Not enough conflict, not enough build-up, not enough room to breathe. It felt like they were caged inside a script that didn't fully understand their strengths. I wanted more aching tension, more emotional unraveling, more scenes where they looked at each other like the world would fall apart if they blinked. Instead, what I got was a soft story that almost meant something, powered by a couple who deserved so much more. Jung and Dunk were the light. No, the star in this drama. But a star alone can't hold up a whole sky. If you're watching for the plot, you may leave a little hollow. But if you're watching for Jung-dunk, then maybe, just maybe, you'll stay. And you'll understand why I added that extra point. 3. The Heart Killers. I'm giving this an 8.9 over 10. The Heart Killers left me shaken, not just entertained, but emotionally wrecked in the best way possible. From the very first frame, I was pulled into a world that was chaotic, seductive, and pulsing with danger. This wasn't just another BL with a dark twist, this was a psychological dance of love, obsession, survival, and the blurred lines between hero and villain. Let's talk Jung and Dunk. My god, their chemistry wasn't just good, it was electric. It wasn't romantic fluff or slow burn sweetness. No. This was intense, twisted, raw. Their connection felt almost dangerous, like two flames feeding off each other until they either burned everything around them or each other. Dunk's vulnerability met Jung's cold intensity in a way that made every glance feel like a life or death moment. They weren't just playing characters, they became them. Every stare, every smirk, every fight, you could feel the weight behind it. There was so much potential in the plot. The psychological layers, the manipulations, the mystery, the moral ambiguity. It gripped me, but I'll admit the ending felt like it took the easy way out. Like they built up this terrifyingly beautiful chaos, and then couldn't fully commit to letting it explode. I wanted more consequences, more madness, more answers. The pacing lost steam when it should have gone all in. That's what made the ending slightly disappointing, not because it was bad, but because the rest of the story set the bar so high. Still, what truly made this series unforgettable was the acting. Jung brought a brooding charisma that made every scene magnetic. You never knew whether to love him, fear him, or both. Dunk delivered a performance that was as heartbreaking as it was haunting. His emotional breakdowns, his subtle shifts between trust and fear, love and betrayal, it was mesmerizing. Together, they created something dangerously beautiful. You believed them, you rooted for them, even when you knew they were running toward their own destruction. If only the writing had been bolder in the final stretch, this could have been a masterpiece. But still, The Heart Killers carved its mark. And it's one of those shows that lingers in your mind long after the credits roll. 4. Love Mechanics. I'm rating this a 7.5 over 10. Love Mechanics is not for the faint-hearted. It's messy, it's chaotic, it's painful, and yet it's undeniably addictive. Normally, I shy away from this type of relationship dynamic. One riddled with miscommunication, jealousy, possessiveness, and a frustrating lack of emotional maturity. But Yin and War changed the game. Their chemistry? Volcanic. The moment their characters locked eyes, you knew you were in for a storm. Not a soft romance, but one that bruises you, pulls you under, then begs you to stay. Warsby delivers emotional turbulence with such rawness it's almost uncomfortable. You feel his confusion, his desperation, his inability to let go, even when he knows he should. And Yin as Mark? That quiet intensity, the broken vulnerability masked by stubbornness, it's captivating. He doesn't say much, but his eyes scream everything. What makes Love Mechanics feel so dramatic and real is how flawed it is. There's no perfect romance here. It's messy, just like real relationships can be. There's cheating. There's silence when there should be truth. There's pain when there could have been healing. Every time you think they're about to grow, they fall back into their toxic patterns. And that's what keeps you hooked and heartbroken. You'll scream at the screen. You'll want to shake some sense into them. But at the same time, you'll ache for their love to survive, because deep down, you know they're both just scared, insecure boys who are trying to love in a world that never taught them how. This show isn't just about love. It's about how damaging love can be when it's rushed, reckless, and rooted in fear. But it's also about redemption. The possibility that even the most broken connections can be mended if both people are willing to fight for it. So yes, expect drama, expect shouting, expect tears. But above all, expect Yin War to steal your heart, break it, and maybe, just maybe put it back together. A heavy watch but an unforgettable one. And rounding up at number 5, KinnPorsche the series. I'm giving this a solid 9.5 over 10, and honestly, it earned every decimal of that score. This wasn't just a BL, it was a damn cinematic experience. KinnPorsche didn't walk onto the scene quietly. No, it roared. It redefined what Thai BLs could be: risky, raw, luxurious, and unapologetically bold. The moment that first gun fired, I knew I wasn't watching just another love story. This was a war between power and passion. The cinematography? Impeccable. Every frame looked like it was torn from a high-budget noir action film. The use of light and shadows, the saturated colors, the choreography of the fight scenes, everything screamed premium. There was blood, lust, betrayal, and under all that, aching vulnerability. And then there was Kinn and Porsche. Mile and Oppo brought a kind of feral, magnetic chemistry that didn't just sizzle, it burned. Their relationship was twisted and complicated, but also heartbreakingly tender. From that bar bathroom scene to the rooftop moment under the stars, you could feel the emotional whiplash. The push and pull between domination and desire, between trust and survival. It was never easy. It was never soft. But it was real. Kinn, cold and calculated but secretly longing for peace. Porsche, reckless and rebellious, hiding a soft heart behind sarcasm and fists. Watching them fall for each other was like watching two storms collide, destructive, but strangely beautiful. The humor was dark, chaotic, and sometimes oddly wholesome, which balanced the intensity well. There were scenes that made me laugh out loud, right before I was yanked into something gut-wrenching or seductive. That emotional roller coaster was addictive. As for the side couples, honestly, they didn't quite grab me. Maybe it's because the main storyline was so powerful, so all-consuming, that anything else felt like static noise in comparison. Vegas P tried, but it never reached the same emotional heights for me. It lacked the depth and soul-shattering tension that Kinn and Porsche had in spades. In the end, KinnPorsche didn't just raise my standards for BL, it obliterated them. After this, I couldn't look at most BLs the same way. They dared to be provocative, violent, sensual, and most importantly human. And that's what made it unforgettable. And just like that, we've made it to the end. I've laughed, I've cried, I've dragged, praised, and exposed my entire emotional history with these BLs. Some series left me breathless. Some broke me. And some honestly just didn't deserve the hype. But that's the beauty of BL, it's never just a show. It's a whirlwind of feelings, of characters who haunt you, of couples who make you believe in something real, something raw, something unforgettable. If your favorites didn't make the top, don't come for me or do, because I want to hear it all in the comments. Let's argue, let's scream, let's cry together. This is a safe space for unfiltered BL obsession. And if you've ever found yourself rewatching a kiss scene 20 times, memorizing a line because it hit too close, or falling for a ship that barely had 5 scenes, then you're exactly where you belong. Thank you for watching, for feeling, for living this with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Because I've got more rankings, rants, reactions, and maybe even some heartbreaks coming your way. Until next time, stay chaotic, stay emotional, and as always keep loving BL the way it deserves to be loved.